Hey guys, this video is perfect for anyone looking to wind down, especially before bed. It's all about letting go of the day, finding a way to calm down the body and wind down the mind too. So we're going to start in a seated pose to begin. So either crossing the legs or sitting on the knees. I like to sit on a bolster or a cushion if you've got one at home. And then come to rest the hands, just wherever feels comfortable. Close the eyes. And start to become aware of the breath. So closing the mouth and breathing in and out through the nose. And just taking a couple of breaths in your own time just to arrive on your mat, arrive into your practice. And imagine that with each exhale, you're letting out a little bit of your day. Letting go, letting it soften, melt away. And allow the breath to become your point of concentration. So really focusing on the breath so that any busyness of the mind starts to disappear. And if the mind is busy and that feels really challenging, then just take it breath by breath and see if with each inhale you can breathe a little bit deeper, and as you exhale you can just soften into the pose a little bit more. Taking 3 more breaths in your own time. And with your next breath, take a deep inhale in through the nose. Opening the mouth, big sigh. Gently blink the eyes open. Come off your block or your bolster, your cushion, whatever's underneath you. We're going to come into a child's pose. So you can separate the knees as wide as you like. Come to place the tops of the feet to the floor. Push into the hands and send your bottom back. You're going to release the forehead and the forearms to the floor. So staying where you are for the next few breaths. I'm bringing myself up so that you can hear me. But see if you can try and stay connected to the breath within the body. So breathing into the back of the rib cage and just feeling that sense of space as you open up between each rib with each breath. And as you exhale, feel the weight of your body as you melt down onto the ground beneath you. Melt the stomach down onto the thighs. Maybe the rib cage touches them first. And just allowing yourself to soften with the arms extended out in front of you. There's no effort, just breath. And then taking your hands back, resting them by the feet. So keeping the forehead to the floor, but letting the backs of the hands touch the mat either side of the ankles. And then as you inhale, gently draw yourself up. Take the feet from underneath you and bring the left leg out straight down onto the mat, bringing the right foot to the inside of the thigh or even the inside of the calf, whatever's most comfortable for you. You're going to take a little bit of a twist over the left leg and then come to fold the body forwards. So there's a couple of ways in which we can do this. We can keep the collarbone wide, keep the front and back of the body long, and reach for our toes, our ankles, but without rounding through the spine. So that's a much more active stretch, and for some people that will help you get into the back of the hamstrings better. For others, you might want to make this a little more restorative. So you can soften the backs of the hands to the floor. Let the head round down, soften, feel an opening through the upper back perhaps, the neck. Whichever variation of the pose you choose, we're working into the back of the hamstring, but we're also folding forwards, which is going to have a really calming effect on the nervous system. If you want to take it one step further in terms of chilling out, then if you have a bolster or a block, you can come to place it underneath the forehead, because by resting the forehead down, you start to relax the area around the eyes and kickstart the parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to help us let go of all the anxiety from the day and just focus on being really relaxed, focusing on the breath. For those of you who find this pose a little bit awkward or find it hard to stretch the back of the leg by sitting up like this, maybe you struggle to fold forwards, you can actually place something underneath the hips, and in some bodies, not all, but some bodies, this will help you fold down over the leg. So then we're going to walk the hands up and swap it over to the other side. So bringing the left foot to the inside of the right thigh, or if you went the other way last time, then just swapping it over, coming onto the other side and letting yourself fold down. So again, option to make this really active by lengthening the spine, broadening the shoulders, or make it a little bit more restorative by softening the head down. And seeing if you can stay focused on the breath. So if you notice that the mind feels busy and that it's wandering around trying to get carried away by distractions, then see if you can really focus on the inhales and exhales of the breath. So these forward folds are going to really help you to wind down before bed. Starting to calm the whole body and settle the mind. And then as you inhale, coming all the way back up, taking yourself off a cushion or bolster if you have one underneath you, and drawing the soles of the feet together. So you're going to lift up through the heart center to begin with, and peel the feet open like a book, so that you get that rotation and opening through the hips, just as far as feels comfortable in your body. And then maybe leaning the chest forwards, but without rounding the spine, keep the collarbones wide. And taking a couple of breaths just to open up through the groin. And then slowly step the feet a little bit further away. This time you can round the upper back, let the head soften down, bring the backs of the hands to the floor. And just breathe across the shoulders, feel that space open up, feel that softening of the head as you begin to lengthen through the back of the neck. And if you can close your eyes while you're here, it's going to help you to stay focused, to stay with the breath. As soon as we open our eyes again, there's always lots to distract us. And then with your next breath, bringing yourself all the way back up. You're going to take the left leg behind you, bringing the right leg to the top of the mats. We're coming into our half pigeon pose. So you might find it easier to go through a downward facing dog and step the right foot forwards. But otherwise, just swinging the leg round and then tuck the left toes, lift up the back knee and just lengthen the leg away as you bring yourself up onto the pads of the fingertips. And use the pads of the fingertips to find length through the front and the back of the body first. So we're not collapsing into the lower back, we're lifting up through the heart center. And as you exhale, come to fold down over the leg. Just take this as far as feels good for you. So maybe you can come all the way down, placing the forehead to the floor. And if the forehead doesn't reach the floor, then maybe grabbing a bolster or a cushion so that you can get that relaxation of lowering the forehead and resting it on the cushion. And then as you inhale, coming back up, press into the hands. You're going to soften onto the right hip and bring the left leg all the way round, stepping it to the outside of the right thigh. So we're moving into a spinal twist. This is really good if you've been sitting at a desk during the day. You want a little bit of stretching and twisting out to help bring a bit of mobility back into the spine. So first of all, take the left leg and just draw it into the chest using the right knee to hug it in. And then place the left hand at the base of the spine to find a little bit of length. And then using the muscles through the core, start to look over the left shoulder. And then reaching the right fingertips high, draw the elbow or the upper arm to the outside of the thigh. And then use that to help you twist, but try not to collapse into the lower back. Lift up through the crown of the head, lift the chest, and find your spinal twist as you begin to gaze over the left shoulder. And then as you inhale, come all the way back to center. Take a little counter twist to the other side. And then you're going to unravel the legs. This time the right leg is going to go back behind you. So again, if you find this easier to come through downward facing dog, then you can get there however way feels best for your body. Lengthen the right leg away, place the knee down and untuck the toes. And then use the pads of the fingers to lift up through the heart center. And this might be enough for you here. If this is an intense stretch through the glutes, then you can stay here. Otherwise, start to come all the way down as far as you can go. Softening the head, maybe finding something to rest the forehead on. And just noticing the jaw for a moment. See if you can relax the tension from the jaw. So often when we're releasing tension from other places in the body, we start to lock through the jaw. So we're still holding that emotion within the body. So see if with the breath you can just let it go. And then as you inhale, walk the hands back up either side of you, softening into the left hip and swing the right leg all the way around, stepping it to the outside of the left knee. Bringing the right hand to the base of the spine, use the left arm to draw the right knee in, find that twist through the core first, and then maybe lengthening the arm up, taking the upper arm to the outside of the leg. And you can either keep the hand up or soften it down onto the hip. But the most important thing is that you're finding length and space before you twist. And then twisting over the right shoulder. And then as you inhale, coming back to the other side, take a little counter twist. This time you're just going to unravel the legs. Come to lie down on the back of the body. Draw the knees into the chest, maybe squeezing them in tight, Maybe just letting them soften down so the back of the pelvis comes to the floor. And you can just rock gently from side to side, get a little massage, maybe circling the knees, and then taking them back the other way. So we're going to come into a supported bridge pose. So those of you that have a block, I'm going to show you what to do first, and then I'll show you another variation in case you don't have one at home. So come to lie down on the back of the body, if you're not already there. And then pressing into the hands, you're going to start to peel the hips away from the floor. Bringing the block, placing it underneath the sacrum. So it should feel really nice and comfortable. You can have a little play around if you're not sure, or if it feels a little odd, just make sure it feels really comfortable here. And then maybe resting the hands on the ribs, or taking the arms up over the head. If you don't have a block at home, then you can come to rest the hands underneath and use your hands to support your hips. Alternatively, if you want to just take a regular bridge pose, you can interlace the fingers, coming onto the outside edges of the arms and lifting up through the center of the body. And then slowly lowering down. Draw the knees back into the chest. We're going to take a plow pose. So I'm going to show you the pose first. This is where we're going. So I'm going to guide you in. Bring your hands either side of your hips, drawing the knees into the chest. And then take the legs over the head. Keep it really controlled through the core. And then if your feet touch the floor, you can interlace the hands behind the back. If the feet are kind of waving in space, then take the hands and support the back with the arms. So I'm going to come back to join you. We'll take our last few breaths in plow pose, halasana together. And with control, draw the knees into the chest. Use your hands to help you lower yourself back down onto the floor. Letting the feet come hip width apart and just let the knees drop from side to side. And then making yourself comfortable, lying down onto the mat as you come to your final Shavasana. Staying here for as long as you like, as long as you need. And whenever you're ready, just bring a little bit of movement back to the body. Maybe take a big stretch. And then in your own time, make your way up to a comfortable seated pose, perhaps rolling onto the right side of the body first. keeping it really slow, really still. Just taking a moment to sit with your breath. And bringing the hands to touch at the heart center, making a commitment to yourself to sit with this calm, to allow this stillness in the mind to lead you into a calm and peaceful place, ready for a good night's sleep. Namaste. If you enjoyed this video and you're ready for some more before you hit the hay, then you can check out this playlist here. Or subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all my new uploads by clicking here. Or check out my blog via the link here. Sleep well.